Example 3, a $25,000 bond with interest at 5.1% payable semi-annually and redeemable at par is bought 2 years before maturity to yield 6.4% compounded semi-annually. Compute the premium or discount and the purchase price and construct the appropriate bond schedule. So we have the face value here, redeemable at par, so therefore our face value equals to our future value, so our future value is 25,000. And then we have the bond rate is 5.1% payable semi-annually, so 5.1% is the bond rate. And then we have the semi-annually, so payable semi-annually, so PY is 2. So therefore we can calculate the PMT. PMT equals to bond rate divided by PY times your face value, so that equals to 0.051 divided by 2 times the 25,000. And you're going to get PMT equals to $637.50. And that's what we have put for the PMT here. And both PMT and future value are positive. They're in the same direction. We're getting both of these cash flow. And then the next number that we see is for 2 years. So T is for 2 years. And then since we know that PY is 2 because it's payable semi-annually, then we can calculate the number of period N equals T times PY. So 2 years times PY is 2. Then we have N equals to 4. And then the next number that we see is 6.4% compounded semi-annually. So 6.4 is your IY. Compounded semi-annually means that our CY compounding per year is 2 times a year. So CY is 2. So once we have everything filled out, then we can plug it into the financial calculator to solve for present value. So second function, PY is 2. Enter, arrow down, CY is 2. So 2, enter. And then we clear bottom left corner. And then we type in the N is 4. So 4. And then N, and then we have the IY is 6.4, and then IY, and then our payment is 637.5, so 637.5 as our PMT, and then we have the 25,000 future value, so 25,000 future value. And then once we type everything, then we're going to compute for present value, so compute present value, and then we're going to get the 24,398.85. And that's our present value. And then we know that our present value is less than the face value of $25,000. So therefore, this is a discount. We're buying the bond at a discount, and the discount amount is the 601.15. When we subtract the difference between the face value and your present value, the difference is your discount, the 601.15. So once we have the present value and then we have the discount amount, then we can now complete the bond schedule. And for convenience, I label each column A, B, C, D, E. So column A is your coupon payments. That is basically your PMT. Our PMT is 637.50, so that's the PMT amount. And that's column A. Column B is the interest on the book value. And then column C is your amount of discount accumulated. Column D is your book value of the bond. And then column E is the remaining discount. So at time 0, so at the beginning, our book value is our present value. Our present value is the 24,398. And then we also have the remaining discount of 601 that we calculated earlier. So those are the two values that we have at time 0. And what we're going to do is we're going to first calculate column B first. We're going to calculate the interest on the book value. And what we're going to do is we're going to take the periodic interest rate, which is your I. I is your periodic interest rate. Your periodic interest rate is basically your nominal interest rate. So 6.4 divided by 2 because compounded semi-annually. So IY divided by CY will give you the periodic interest rate, so 3.2%. So we take the 6.4, we divide it by 2, that will give you the 3.2%. That's your periodic interest rate. That's your I. So we take the periodic interest rate and then we times it by what we have in column D. So that's why we have in the first period, we have the 0.032. Times it by 24,398.85, and that will give you the 780.76. And that's your interest on the book value for the first period. And that calculation is based on the periodic interest rate times what we have in column D, the book value of the bond. Once we calculate the column B, the interest on the book value, then we can calculate column C. Column C is the amount of discount accumulated. And the formula for that is basically your column B minus your column A. So we take the 780 in the first period, and then we subtract that from what we have in column A, which is the 637, and that will give you the 143. And that's what we have shown in the calculation here. Next, we have column D, the book value of the bond. And how we calculate column D, the book value of the bond, is we take the previous period. So we take the previous amount, and then we add column C. So we take the previous amount. So at time 0, our column D is 24,398.85, and then we add the column C. Column C is 143.26. So we add those two numbers. So we add the previous number from column D, and then we add the current column C value, and then you're going to get the 24,542.11. And that's column D. And the last column is your remaining discount. And how we calculate the remaining discount for the current period is we take the remaining discount from the previous period, and then we subtract from column C. So we take the 601.15 from the previous period, and then we subtract from column C the current period amount of discount accumulated, and then we're going to get the 457.89, and that's your remaining discount. So you can do the rest of the calculation yourself. And what you need to know is that at the end of the 2 years, so at the end of the 4 payments, our remaining discount will be 0. So you can see that the remaining discount decreases all the way to 0, and the book value increases all the way back to the $25,000. And that's the face value that we have at the end of the 2 years. And that will always be the case. At the end of the term, our remaining discount will be 0, and then our book value will be same as the face value. And that's example 3.